On this edition of This Week in the NPSL, we have highlights as hot as the temps outside. In the Northwest, the two teams at the top of the conference square off, with Spokane casting a shadow over Kitsap Pumas. In the Heartland, FC Wichita looks to stay perfect, while one of our newcomers stays in hot pursuit. In the Great Lakes, AFC Ann Arbor also looks to stay unblemished against their rivals in the Motor City. And in the North Atlantic, we check in on the defending champions against a squad off to a sizzling start. That and our Player of the Week are ahead on This Week in the NPSL. Hi, and welcome to This Week in the NPSL. Good to be back in the studio and out of the hot sun for this week's episode. I'm your host, Paul Boron, and we start with a little bit of history. For the first time in our show's brief history, we get the chance to look in on the Northwest Conference. And what a great week for some highlights, as the two best teams, Kitsap Pumas and Spokane SC Shadow, squared off last weekend. Former NASL player and Spokane native Mike Ramos delivers a cross from the wing. The 18-year-old Jake Levine heads in. It's 1-0 Spokane. 8th minute and Spokane on the board again. This time it is Noah Czapleski and J.D. Michael. And Michael gets the goal, and it's 2-0. Then a corner kick from Jesse Ratton finds Jake Levine for his second of the night, and it is 3-0. Second half now, 54th minute. Ramos with a great play to intercept the ball in the defensive end, drives up the field, and puts Levine through on goal. He finishes one-on-one against the goalkeeper, Cody Lang. It's 4-0, and why not one more? A little give and go between Espinosa and Chase Wright, and Wright gets the goal in the 78th minute as Spokane beats Kitsap 5-0. Big win there for FC Arizona as they look to stay in the playoff hunt. FC Golden State and ASC San Diego both won, while Orange County FC was off last weekend. And FCM Portland gets their third win to keep pace with Spokane in the Northwest. And speaking of the Northwest, that is where we find our game of the week as PDX FC hosts Kitsap Pumas. Busy weekend for PDX FC as they also host a match on Friday night as well. When we come back, we will go to the Midwest, where rivals square off in Motown, as AFC Ann Arbor looks to stay unbeaten on the season. That is next.
Keep up to date on the NPSL with scores, stats, schedules, and exclusive content on the brand new NPSL.com. Visit NPSL.com to browse our dedicated ticket platform, read up on team news from around the country, and view the latest episode of This Week in the NPSL.
Back on This Week in the NPSL, as two teams who know each other very well met last weekend. Detroit City FC looking to get back to the form that made them a national semifinalist last year, while AFC Ann Arbor looks to maintain the form that has them unbeaten headed into this rivalry match. Rivalry game at Keyworth Stadium and one of the toughest places to play in the NPSL. Ann Arbor starts the game off well in the 4th minute. Stanley Okumu sends a long ball that is unmet in the air and drops nicely for Serge Gomlonyu, who sends a nice effort just wide. Ann Arbor continues to press on the attack after some nice build-up. AZ Liotti finds space on the wing and uses his skill to get an open shot, but it hits the keeper, who makes the save. 43rd minute, Ann Arbor awarded a free kick in a dangerous area, and Captain Jack Cawley steps up to take it, almost able to dip it under the bar, but it does go over, scoreless at the break. Early second half, Ann Arbor finally able to break the deadlock after some good connecting play out on the right wing. Gomlonyu is able to slide a ball through on AZ's run, who plays a perfect ball to Chris Odiambo, who gets just the right touch to beat Detroit keeper Fernando Pina on the near post and take the lead for the Mighty Oak Final minutes of the game, Detroit is piling on the pressure. Sean Claude Lawson gets the ball right in front of the Ann Arbor goal, but his shot is blocked by Okumu, who had an outstanding game, and AFC Ann Arbor wins 1-0. Busy weekend for Cleveland SC, first off against Greater Binghamton FC, and they get the scoring started early in Binghamton Friday night when Antonio Manfoot finds Danny Rappel for his first goal of the 2018 season. The second goal of the match came from star forward Vinny Bell as he easily heads the ball past the Greater Binghamton keeper. It was Vinny Bell again right before the half as he beats the defender and the keeper to give Cleveland SC a 3-0 lead. Then Kotaro Umada grabbed his first goal of the season on a beautiful strike using the outside of his right foot. Then it was Bell in the 70th minute, giving Cleveland SC the win by completing the hat trick. However, on Sunday, it was a tough day for Cleveland SC as the first goal came off an early corner kick. After a few deflections, the ball got past Michael Outcolt to give Pittsburgh the 1-0 lead. Cleveland SC had an opportunity to level things in the 7th minute when Manfoot stepped up to the penalty spot after being taken down in the box, but Pittsburgh's keeper comes up with a big save that kept them in the lead. Second goal of the match came off another corner kick. This time the ball headed back across the goal and tapped in by Anthony Vergara in the 24th minute, and then headed past Outcolt in the 58th minute by Vergara. 3-0 for Pitt. Early in stoppage time, Rappel grabbed the consolation goal, later ruled an own goal. 3-1 the final, and despite the loss, the Six City Syndicate sticking around to encourage Cleveland SC players. Wednesday night, Duluth FC taking on VSLT FC. 12th minute, a good chance for Duluth FC as winger Joe Watt creates a chance out of nothing with a clever first touch off a long goal kick, but his shot goes wide of the left post. 76th minute, another chance. A long man scramble in front of the VSLT goal almost sees Duluth break the deadlock with a header from Santi Castro. It just goes over the bar. 78th minute, great one-handed save from VSLT keeper Alejandro Caridi. Fantastic chance for Duluth FC and Ryan Turer, but it stays scoreless. Deep into stoppage time and a goal for VSLT as Mauricio Mendoza Noches against the run of play seals the win for VSLT. The teams will see each other again in a little over a week in St. Paul. Duluth looking to turn things around later in the weekend as they hosted DAKOTA Fusion and a bunch of the youngsters from Gitche Gumi Youth Soccer Club walking the teams out. 16th minute, chance for Duluth FC as central defender Aiden Hill attempts and almost absolutely nails an overhead kick off the far post, coming up short corner, and it is saved by Habib Beljulji. 19th minute, a chance for DAKOTA Fusion after a sloppy turnover by Duluth FC sees an opportunity gifted to Fusion's Akeem Smith, which is smartly saved by Jan Hoffellner. 33 minute, a chance for Duluth. Aiden Hill almost pulls off another worldly goal with a bombing diving header which goes narrowly wide of the far post. After being involved in every aspect of the play, not rewarded with the goal there. 58th minute and the breakthrough, Joe Watt. Some great interplay between Kyle Farrer and Liam Moore allowed Moore to play a great cross to the top of the box, which was received, one-touch settled and calmly finished in the left corner by Watt. That was an all-English goal with each player involved in the build-up. Too bad they are too late to be drafted to the England World Cup squad, but it's good enough for the 1-0 win. Grand Rapids' 84th minute goal by Nick Gronwald gets them a 3-2 win and puts them second in the Great Lakes, right behind AFC Ann Arbor. Two other unbeaten teams lead other Midwest conferences. Erie now 5-0-1 after their win over Greater Binghamton, and Minneapolis City SC leads the North after their win over Med City. Next, we go to the Northeast and get a look at the defending champions as they take on one of the fast starters in 2018. Elm City and Greater Lowell are next.
Passage is the official ticket provider of the NPSL and powers the league's dedicated ticketing platform. Support live local soccer by visiting tickets.npsl.com to find tickets to NPSL matches near you directly from NPSL teams.
Welcome back, and off we go to the North Atlantic Conference, where we have a New England showdown. But first, we check in on our defending champions, who are looking to get it going. And we mean that two ways. No team in our league has played less matches than Elm City Express, and they are looking to find their groove on the field as well, as they hosted one of the league's turnaround stories, Greater Lowell NPSL FC. This game was scoreless through halftime, but the second half, all kinds of intense action, all within a 20-minute time frame. Just after the start of the second half, Elm City's Michael Carnero would take control and score the game's first goal. It's 1-0. But Greater Lowell's Jonata Batista steals the ball and hands it off to Andre Simon, who is fouled. He takes the PK, and Greater Lowell equalizes. 60th minute, Elm City loses the ball, and Batista allows Kyle Moore a Kodak moment as Moore scores his first NPSL goal. And then just 2 minutes later, it is Batista rebounding a missed shot and scoring what would be the goal of the match, as it is 3-1. Elm City answering. In the 65th minute, as Carnero caught Greater Lowell napping on the pitch and drove home a goal, smacked through the broken defense, but that would be it. Greater Lowell gets the 3-2 win over the defending champs. Battle of New England, Boston City FC and Hartford City FC. Hartford City FC looking to stay unbeaten. 2 minutes into the match, Isaac Adai thought he had given the hosts the lead with a chip from 45 yards out, seeing Carlton D'Ambrosio off his line, but the keeper recovers and kept the ball out of the net. The officials originally called this a goal, but changed the call. Boston City did take the lead less than a minute into the second half, when Rigoberto Jimenez capitalized on a poor clearance from a corner to control the ball before burying it with a fierce finish that earned the Lions the 1-0 lead. After defending the slim lead, Boston City made sure they collected all 3 points just 11 minutes from full time, when Michael Rincon flicked a long ball from Jason Leachy with the outside of his boot, and Walla Randolph's cross was steered in the bottom corner by the goal scorer Adai. 2-0 Boston City. So Greater Lowell is now 4-2, but still chasing New York Cosmos B, who got 2 goals from Danny Zatella in their win to move to 6-0. Northern Virginia United got an 84th minute goal by Tony Buono to move to 3-1 atop the Mid-Atlantic. And FC Motown got 2 goals from Christopher Katona, and now they lead the Keystone Conference at 4-0. When we return, we will head south, where Miami United has put their U.S. Open Cup run in their rearview mirror and now set their full attention on capturing the Sunshine Conference. They had a battle with Boca Raton FC. Those highlights are next.
Keep up to date on the NPSL with scores, stats, schedules, and exclusive content on the brand new NPSL.com. Visit NPSL.com to browse our dedicated ticket platform. Read up on team news from around the country and view the latest episode of This Week in the NPSL.
Welcome back to This Week in the NPSL. I'm your host, Paul Bourne, and it's time to head to the Heartland Conference, where FC Wichita continues to be in command. Their highlights are in a moment, but we start with a new member who is in hot pursuit of FC Wichita. That is St. Louis Club Atletico, who look to continue their strong start in an entertaining match against Little Rock Rangers. 9th minute, Alex Squadron, who you'll hear about later in the show, gets the first goal of the match to give Little Rock the lead. 29th minute, Siobhan Walsh gets the St. Louis goal, and we're even. Jump ahead to the 71st minute, and Jacob Krupp puts St. Louis on top with the goal. It's 2-1. A minute later, though, Little Rock answers. Outside back Nick Vasquez catches the St. Louis keeper off his line with a long-range shot, and we are level at 2. Teams looking at each getting a point, but Mitch Moncada had other ideas in the 85th minute, and that's the game winner, 3-2 to St. Louis Club Atletico. Wild one in Tulsa between Athletic and FC Wichita. Joseph Ruiz clips a ball sent in by Joe Garcia, and Tulsa has the 1-0 lead. A minute later, Tulsa keeper Justin Bauer mishandles the ball and James Togba equalizes the match. 24th minute, Aaron Ogba finds a cross from Ruiz and Tulsa takes the 2-1 lead. Then Frank Tayo, who we seem to mention every week, in the 32nd minute on a ball sent in from the corner from Nelson Landaverde, and we're even at 2. 50th minute, after Tulsa had Garcia sent off with 2 yellows, Thomas Wells takes a ball past the keeper and slips it in, and it's 3-2 FC Wichita. Togba sends in a rocket from outside of the 18 to give FC Wichita a 4-2 lead. Then in the 65th minute, despite being down a man, Jonathan Woods heads the ball into the net, and we have a game again. It's 4-3. But in the 85th minute, what's becoming an FC Wichita staple, Leo Sosa bicycle kicks it in off the woodwork, giving FC Wichita the 5-3 win. To the Sunshine Conference and a tight affair in Miami between United and Boca Raton FC. 18th minute and the best chance of the half, Victor Pelé of Miami tries his luck from just outside the box with a potent left foot that is saved by Michael Stone. Pelé chases the ball in the 65th minute, but Stone beats him to it. Then Thomas Granito tries to lob it in, but his shot is cleared off the line. 77th minute, Shamar Shelton has a breakaway and is well defended by Kevin Francis Byrne, but on the rebound he is called for a handball and a PK. Granito takes it and scores to give Miami United the lead. In the 86th minute, the physicality of the game starts to take a toll on both teams and things get a little testy. 91st minute, great individual play sets up Mateus Ariel, and our player of the week from a week ago is the hero for Boca this week as he helps them get the 1-1 draw. Emerald Force SC looking for their second win of the season, hosting New Orleans, and this was the Ryan Coulter show. In the 15th minute, he makes a sprawling save on Oliver Roberts. 7 minutes later, he punches away a blast by Mason Walsh. 43rd minute, Jesters on the counter, and Coulter stops Tom Pierce. Skip ahead to the 79th minute, Alex Garuba with a free kick for the Force, and it sneaks in for the 1-0 lead, and Coulter makes it stand up, robbing Chase Rushing point blank. Emerald Force SC wins 1-0. 2 nights later, the Jesters head to McDonough, Georgia to face the host Revolution, and the home side gets on the board first as Isaac Promise buries a beauty, and it's 1-0. New Orleans answers in the 12th minute when Ish Kasimu hits a beautiful volley that finds the back of the net, and it's 1-1. Skip ahead to the second half, and the final third of this game was wild. The Revolution earn a penalty kick in the 59th minute, but Chad Collins denies the PK by Promise. 13 minutes later, Tom Pierce wins a PK for New Orleans. He is successful in his effort, and that is the game winner as the Jesters win 2-1. Laredo looking to stay on fire against Dutch Lions. 35th minute, Dutch Lions with a PK, but Carlos Herrera blocks the shot, keeps the game scoreless, and kept momentum for Laredo. 64th minute, and we seem to mention this guy every week, Zayed Fars, getting the goal to make it 1-0. And in the 87th minute, a little insurance from Jonas Budati, and Laredo wins it 2-0. Palm Beach United gets 2 goals from Brandon Joseph Bowdy as they knock off the Armada and tighten things in the Sunshine. The usual suspects are on top in the Southeast, but rivals Chattanooga and New Orleans square off Saturday in the Crescent City. FC Wichita will look to stay perfect when they face Demise NPSL, but next week they face second-place St. Louis club Atletico. And in the Lone Star, Laredo stayed perfect with Fort Worth Vaqueros, who drew with Midland Odessa, and they stay in second. Time now for our player of the week, and we go back to where we started this segment, the Little Rock Rangers. Alex Guadron started the scoring this week against St. Louis club Atletico, but last week, Alex Guadron did not stop at 1 against Demise NPSL, scoring all 4 in their 4-3 win. So Guadron is very deserving of the honor. Kudos to him. And kudos to all of our members for all the video submissions. Great week of highlights, and we will bring you many more when we come back next week on This Week in the NPSL.